Final day of the 2012 Ryder Cup from Medina Country Club just outside of Chicago. And after Saturday's events unfolded, the Europeans actually carried a little bit of momentum with them into Sunday, winning the final two matches on Saturday afternoon to claw within a 10-6 deficit of the Americans heading into Sunday's final round.
Webb Simpson.
So as Webb Simpson is announced, here is McIlroy just coming onto the grounds. Less than 10 minutes from his tee time with Keegan Bradley.
But as Sunday's action got started, somebody was conspicuously absent. Rory McIlroy, the world's #1 player, arrived 10 minutes before his tee time. Barely had time to stroke a few putts on the practice green before he had to rip one on the first tee. And you knew this would go one of two ways. He would just knock it stiff down the middle and just brush off showing up in the nick of time, or it would be an errant shot. Look at this one, in between the cables. Ian Poulter, 5 straight birdies to end his day on Saturday, picking up right where he left off, doing battle against Webb Simpson. That was on the first hole. Then Justin Rose, quietly been very solid in this Ryder Cup, taking on Phil Mickelson. That's a birdie putt to win the hole on the first, and Justin Rose and the Europeans getting off to a quick start on Sunday. Rose now on the fourth. He's already 2 up. This for par to have. And that one didn't have enough juice on it. Phil Mickelson gets one back, and now 1 down on Justin Rose through the first 4 holes. McIlroy in the bunker on 5, his 3rd shot. He's 1 up in his match against Keegan Bradley. McIlroy punches it out within inches of the cup. That one would be conceded for birdie. But then Keegan for birdie to have the hole with Rory McIlroy. And Bradley knocks it in. Keegan getting riled up early on, and that's what the American fans in attendance at Medina were looking for. McIlroy still 1 up through 5, however. Paul Lawrie from off the green on the 4th, his 3rd shot. In a match with Brandt Snedeker, all square at this point. And watch this ball just roll on into the cup. Shot of the day so far as Lawrie moves to 1 up. He also would go on to eagle the next hole, number 5, to go 2 up. Back to Rory on 6, the par 4, his 3rd shot from just off the green. People are just going bonkers on Sunday at the Ryder Cup. Rory chips in. He wins the hole, 2 up now on Keegan Bradley. Sergio Garcia on the 2nd, taking on Jim Furyk for a birdie to win the hole. One of the more energetic, fiery Europeans, Jim Furyk. His task was to try to keep Garcia quiet early on, but Garcia wins the 2nd hole to move 1 up and gain some more momentum. Zach Johnson taking on Graham McDowell on Sunday's singles session. This on the 3rd, his 2nd shot at the par 4, nearly holes out for eagle. That's good enough for a gimme. Zach would birdie that one. He moved to 2 up through 3 holes. Back to Bradley, 2 down now on the 8th, a par 3, this for birdie. And Keegan pointing to the crowd, where are my people at? They've been behind him all weekend, as he has been easily the crowd's choice for Mr. Popularity at the Ryder Cup. Dustin Johnson taking on Nicholas Colsaerts, this on the 6th for a birdie. Watch this ball just screaming its way into the cup. Dustin Johnson moves to 1 up, as this match needs a tail of the tape. Johnson at 6'4", Colsaerts 6'1". Some lanky, long ball hitters in that match. Back to Rory, 1 up on the 9th for a birdie, showing no ill effects from rushing to the golf course just before his tee time. He's 2 up through 9 on Keegan Bradley. Back to Lawrie, who's 2 up on the 9th. This for a birdie. Make that 3 up through the front 9. As Lawrie turning in a solid effort on Sunday. Transition, please. This is Jason Dufner taking on Peter Hansen, a par 5 5th. Dufner just cleaning that up for an eagle to get to 2 up on Hansen. Back to Bradley, who's 2 down on the par 5 10th. Another big putt. This one more of a subdued reaction. A modest fist pump as he gets one back on Rory. Webb Simpson, a lot of big putts in this Ryder Cup. He's 1 up on the 12th. This birdie to try to have the hole doesn't go down, and it's back to all square against Ian Poulter. back to Phil Mickelson in the fairway on the par 4-11. One down. His second shot. Watch this one. Nestling on up there. That'll work, Phil. He would go on to win the 11th hole. Move it back to all square against Justin Rose. Bubba Watson 3 down on the 16th from just off the green, his third shot. Bubba trying to hang tough in this match. Drops the chip, the double fist pump from Bubba. And he gets back in, 2 down now, with 2 left to play in his match. Jason Duffner cruising up 3 on the 8th hole for birdie to win the par 3. Make it 4 up, and usually reserved Duffner giving a fist pump, feeling the emotion of his first Ryder Cup. Bubba from off the green on 17 now. Second shot on the par 3. Not enough juice to get it down the hill through the rough. And he would concede the match to Luke Donald. Donald winning 2-1. And the first points of Sunday afternoon go to the Europeans. And now it's a 10-7 American lead. Tiger on the 6th. 1 down in the match. For par to win the hole against Francesco Molinari. And he does exactly that. All square with Tiger. Sergio Garcia on the 10th chipping in for eagle to push his match to all square against Jim Furyk. Speaking of all square, here's Phil in the bunker on the 14th, his third shot from the sand. Watch him spin it to within 3 feet. This following it up now for birdie. And Phil drops it to move 1 up with 4 to go. Keimer now, all square on the 9th against Steve Stricker. Big birdie putt for Keimer. Stricker would go on to miss his birdie putt to try and have the hole, so Keimer is 1 up, heading to the back 9. Furyk now on 12, all square with Garcia. That birdie wins the hole. Furyk has a 1-hole advantage through 12. More momentum here for the Europeans. Brandt Snedeker couldn't get it going on Sunday. 4 down on the 15th, misses the birdie putt, and Paul Lawrie wins 5 and 3, an impressive showing for him. Now the Europeans are 2 for 2 in matches on Sunday. 10-8 the Americans holding on to the overall lead. Keegan Bradley 2 down on 17, needs this to extend the match. Comes up short. Rory McIlroy winning 2-1. 3 for 3 now for the Europeans. It's just a 1-point advantage overall for the U.S. It's 10-9. The only loss for Keegan Bradley in this 2012 Ryder Cup. A very impressive showing for the Ryder Cup rookie. Webb Simpson 1 down on 18 for birdie. Rolls it way past the hole on that one. Way too much speed. He would concede to Ian Poulter. Poulter goes 4-0 in the 2012 Ryder Cup. He wins, and it's now 10-10. We've got a completely new ball game as Europe only needing to tie overall with 14 points to retain the cup. In order to bring back the cup, the Americans need to get 14.5. Here's Phil on the 17th. 1 up, and watch this one. Nearly chips it in for birdie. Phil thought he had that one. But watch this. Ice water in the veins of Justin Rose. He comes right back after that chip from Phil and drains the long birdie putt. All square between Justin Rose and Phil Mickelson. And Phil, in a good show of sportsmanship, gives Justin Rose the thumbs up, says, "Game on, buddy, game on." Nicholas Colsaerts down 2 on 16. Misses the par putt to extend that match, and the Americans take back the lead as Dustin Johnson wins 3 and 2. It's 11-10 now in favor of the Americans. Justin Rose trying to keep the momentum going after his big putt on 17. A big putt on 18 to win the match against Phil. He goes birdie to finish and top Mickelson 1 up and tie this thing back up at 11. As the Americans now getting a little shaky in the knees here. They had a 10-6 advantage to start the day. It's now 11 all. Zach Johnson 2 up on the 17th. He needs 2 putts from that distance to win his match against Graham McDowell. and that would be suitable enough for a concession from Graham McDowell. Zach Johnson wins his match, pushing the Americans back on top. 12-11 seesaw battle coming down to the final hours of the afternoon on Sunday at Medina. Tiger Woods one up on the 14th for birdie. That one looked good till the very last second. It lips off the left side. Francesco Molinari now has a birdie attempt of his own, trying to even up the match. Molinari lost 4 and 3 in 2010 to Tiger Woods, but drains that one right down the middle, all square with 4 holes to play. Lee Westwood 3 up on the 16th. He needs just 2 putts to beat Matt Kuchar. That one misses off the edge.
Kuchar's not moving.
Trying to check with Kuchar, see if he'll concede. Kuchar says, no, buddy, you're going to have to putt this one out if you want the victory. So Westwood steps over the ball, and he delivers. Lee Westwood wins 3 and 2 over Kuchar. 12-12 overall score now. The Europeans are 6 and 2 in the matches to this point on Sunday. Martin Keimer 1 up on 15. Watch that one go all the way around the cup. That was to have the hole. And just like that, he and Steve Stricker all square with 3 to play. Jim Furyk all square on the 18th for par to have the match. He can't get it. Furyk becomes the 3rd American on Sunday alone to lose 17 and 18 and lose the match. Sergio Garcia wins 1 up. The first overall score lead for the Europeans in this Ryder Cup comes at 13-12. Here's Peter Hansen on the 18th. 1 down for par. He misses. Jason Duffner wraps up his match, winning 2 up to pull the Americans even at 13-13. So we've got 4 golfers left on the course. Francesco Molinari, Tiger Woods, Martin Keimer, Steve Stricker. These guys have combined for 0 Ryder Cup points up to this point in 2012. And to win, the U.S. needs a win and a half out of the remaining 2 possible matches to get the necessary 1.5. So Keimer now on the 18th, 1 up, needs 2 putts for the Europeans to retain the Ryder Cup. But Keimer rolls this one well past the hole, leaving himself a little meat on the bone. His European teammate Sergio Graham McDowell saying, better him than me, I'd rather not be the one standing over that next putt. As U.S. captain Davis Love III looking on with a concerned look on his face. Steve Stricker, though, doing his part. Sinks that putt, forcing Keimer to make his next putt to end the Ryder Cup. Keimer standing over it, calmly, coolly, strokes that ball dead center. And he knew it as soon as it left his blade. And the Europeans celebrating on American soil the miracle at Medina, this one may become to known as Seve Ballesteros, no doubt on the mind of his good friend, Captain Jose Maria Olazabal. Seve passed away in May of 2011. It's because of his passion for this event that the Ryder Cup is the event that it is now, especially on the European side. As the Europeans celebrating, they have now won 5 of the last 6 Ryder Cups. As Molinari and Woods have their match, giving the Europeans an extra half point. So the final score, an outright victory for the Europeans, 14.5 to 13.5. And what happened to the Europeans at Brookline in 1999 has happened to the U.S. 13 years later at Medina, as the Europeans celebrate the Ryder Cup Championship.